No, I didn't think when I came over in November that I'd be riding in the Kentucky Derby this soon anyway. It was definitely on my to-do list, but it's come around a bit quicker than I thought. It's a fantastic opportunity, and on a horse that, I think could show up brilliant on the day.
Oh, you got a shot, right? I mean, that's all you can ask.
Absolutely. I mean, his stamina is there, and his pedigree, everything he's shown up until this point is, that he's going to stay the trip, which is question marks on a lot of others. He's got course form. He looks $1 million. He looks a very happy horse out there this morning, galloping around. And I think Whit and the team have him in fantastic shape, and it'll just be a case of keeping him that way until the big day.
What are some of the qualities you like about this horse?
He's very laid back. He's very professional, which a lot of the good ones are. They know how to keep their cool and turn it on when the gates open. So he has that in his armory, and just the way he goes through a race. He likes to kind of warm up into the race. He kind of puts himself in the right sort of spots, and he's such a strong closer. With the long stretch here, it's going to suit him down to the ground, and I'm just very excited to have the opportunity and hope we show up on the day.
Are you surprised to have the opportunity? Because Derby history is full of horses that get to the Derby and then, maybe we'll get one of our Hall of Famers or somebody who's won the Derby before, ridden it in a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anywhere in the world. It's a bit of a, popularity contest. So it's a credit to Whit and the owners for sticking by me. I've had a lot of experience riding around the world, ridden winners everywhere. There's a lot of people in America probably wouldn't know me, but I have a lot of credentials to my name, and I think myself and the horse gelled very well on our first start together. So if it's working, don't fix it, and I think that's the policy they went with.
Can we back up and you go over some of your credentials from around the world and what brought you to the United States? Last November, I was thinking you'd even been here a little longer, but you came just for the fairgrounds, right?
Yeah, it was actually a man called Steve Levin got in touch with me and said that Ron Fauché, my now agent, was looking for a new jock. So I was kind of at a point where I just wanted a new challenge. I'd spent a lot of time in England, obviously ridden a lot of winners before that in Ireland, and things were going well. I was doing very well in England. There was no reason to make a move, but sometimes to go forward you have to make big decisions, and I just took the opportunity with the racing being quiet over the winter. A lot of the time I go to the Middle East, over to Dubai and Bahrain, and I took this opportunity to go to the fairgrounds, and obviously with the way it worked out, it seemed to be the right decision. And now to have a ride in the Kentucky Derby, I think it definitely was the right decision, and I'm just relishing a new opportunity and hoping I can do my best by the horse and Whit and the team.
When did you decide when did you decide that you were just going to stay in America? I mean, when you first came over for the winter, did you think you might be going back after the fairground season, or?
I was absolutely going back. Yeah, I had a lot of commitments over there. There's a lot of trainers who were kind of very loyal to me over there over the years, and but like I said, sometimes you have to make a change to go forward, and things can go a bit stale. So coming over here, it was a new opportunity. I was really enjoying it, and to say I made a decision on one day would be wrong, because I flicked backwards and forwards about 25 times. Was it the right thing? Was it the wrong thing? But there's only one way to find out. You've got to do it to find out if it's right or wrong. So I made that decision, and it's looking like it's the right one at the moment.
Well, if somebody had told you that, I'm sorry. If somebody had told you when you came over just to, rather than going to Bahrain for the winter, that you would have a horse in the Kentucky Derby, what would you have, was that even in your brain to think about?
Not this year. It was definitely on my brain to think about. I don't kind of dip a toe in the water. When I go in, I throw myself all in, and I want to try and make a splash and make the best of it. So listen, it's one of those things that's come around a lot quicker than I thought, but everything's panned out nicely, and like I said, it's the biggest race over here. It's the race that every jockey wants to be riding in, and to have the opportunity is, like I said, it's just a big thanks to everyone for having the courage to keep me on, and hopefully I can pay them back for that.
When you're out there riding on a Marie, is it a surreal experience knowing where you are and what's about to happen and all the circumstances surrounding it?
Yeah, I think it's like anywhere. It's like anywhere in the world at the big meetings. You go to Royal Ascot, you go to any of these kind of big fixtures, big events, and there's obviously the big build-up, and everyone kind of feels the pressure. But I always find, especially when I get on the horse and I get out on the track, it's like any other race. It's just you and the horse, and you're there to do a job. So, it doesn't matter how much noise, how many people are stood behind the rail. When you're out there, it's just you and the horse, and all you're trying to do is kind of get the best out of them on the day. So, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the build-up. Everyone said it's unbelievable. I've been at some big events, and they said this is a new level. So, listen, I just can't wait for it to come around, and hopefully we show everyone what we could do.
Are there big differences between riding over here as opposed to Britain?
Yeah, I think you have to adapt to any kind of new situation you're in. There's more of an emphasis on, especially on the dirt, there's more of an emphasis on speed, early doors, getting a position, but a position where you're comfortable and your horse is in a rhythm. So, I did have to adapt to that. It took me probably 10 weeks when I got to the fairgrounds to really hone in the skills on the dirt, but I think we're 25% on the dirt since the start of the new year, so I think we've fairly nailed that down, and hopefully we can make that 100% on Derby down this side.
Can you take us back to the Louisiana Derby? Take us back to that trip.
Yeah, obviously I kind of got a late call up for the horse that day. He came up for grabs, and they gave me the opportunity to ride him. We got a beautiful trip around. The race panned out lovely for him, and the way he hit the line that day, myself and the winner, we really pulled clear. And he's a horse who, I think we all think has flourished since he got back here. He obviously loves this place. So, he was beating a length that day. A length is easy enough to turn around, and I'm hoping that he can improve on what he did and really shake them up.
Those couple of weeks when you were wondering if you were going to keep the mount, what were those like for you? Do you worry about it, or you just kind of put it in the back of your mind?
It is what it is. Everyone has to make their decisions, and I was obviously hoping and praying I was going to keep the mount. There was only so much we could do. We flew down to breeze him. We tried to show a face and make sure we were here, and just did everything possible to stay on the horse. There was a long list of jockeys trying to get on him. I know that much. It's like anywhere in the world, you've got to try and protect what's yours. And it was a bit nerve-wracking for a while. But when the decision was finally made, it's like a weight off your shoulders. You can just concentrate on the race that's coming up and start to look forward to it.
So you're going to be riding at Delaware, correct?
Yeah. So the plan is we're going to stay here now through Derby, and then we'll head back up and. There's Monmouth, Delaware, Laurel, all in a short space. So, we looked at the list of jockeys that are going to be competing here through the Churchill meet, and I don't know whether the office would have enough paper to put them all down. There's going to be a lot of lads here competing, and being the first year, I wanted to go somewhere where I could, really lay down a lot of winners and make a splash, and we thought that was the best option for this year. So. Yeah, really look forward to the next 2 weeks and then getting back up there and trying to show them up there what I can do as well.
But the Derby is such that you're, I don't want to say sacrificing, but you've made the decision you're going to be here every day. Showing your face and getting on for the work and watching the horse train and just being part of the team and hoping to get on other people's teams.
Listen, it's the Kentucky Derby. The trainer, the owners, they put their commitment in me, so we thought it was prevalent to come down for the next 2 weeks and show that we're committed as well, and hopefully that all pans out a week on Saturday. People say about tracks and the different track in Europe, the tracks are very different. They're up, down, they're left, right. Over here you jump out, you go left-handed in a circle. I find this is very similar to the fairgrounds. You have a nice long stretch. I'm not worried about it being my first ride in the Derby. You have to treat it the same as any other race. You have to put the horse in the best position and give it the best chance of winning. So if that means we're good enough on the day, which cross my fingers we are, I have no worries whatsoever.
Have you ridden in a big field before, like 20 horses?
I lived in big fields.
Really?
Everything in the UK is big fields.
What's the secret to success to navigating 19 other horses as an example?
I don't think there is. I just think it's having the spatial awareness to know where you are. The awareness of the pace in front of you, are they going quick enough that you can be this far back? Are they going, slow enough that, you can sit this far forward and sustain it? So I think it's just about having the awareness around you and mainly positioning through the race. a lot of the races in the UK at Ascot, the bigger meetings, you can have anything from 20 to 30 runners. So, you know, I'm well adapted to that, and you know, that's not something that's going to faze me or trouble me on the day.
The way he finished in the Louisiana Derby, does that alleviate any concerns about getting the distance minutes? Miles for 3:16 so close to it.
I wouldn't have any. I actually spent yesterday I was coming down from Delaware, which is a 10-hour drive, and I went through his pedigree from start to finish, and I can't see a pedigree in the race that has more stamina, you know, is more prevalent to stamina than he is. Everything about him screams out a mile and a half. So I would have no question marks about Tripp. I think he's as close to a guaranteed stayer as you're going to get.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
34.
Yeah.
And when you came over again, you thought it might just be for the winter. Did you ever? Now it sounds like you want to be, you know, stay in America for the ever maybe.
Yeah, I mean the plan is to stay here and get to the top. That's my plan wherever I go. So I have a brilliant agent. I have a lot of trainers who are, you know, supporting me. You know, since I came here, they've supported me. So as long as I keep getting that and I can keep knocking the winners in for them, then, you know, hopefully we can start getting our way where we're at these bigger meetings and in the bigger races on a more regular basis. The Kentucky Derby is kind of the flagship race for America. It'd be the same as the Melbourne Cup for Australia. If you're a jockey, you're dreaming of winning any of those big races. So nothing's unachievable. So yeah, I'd say it's pretty high on everyone's list.